हाँ कीजिए प्रभु जी कीजिए।
अवजानन्ति मां मूढ़ा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परम भावं जानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्. Fools deride me, and when I descend in the human form, they do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. From the other explanations of the previous verses in this chapter, it is clear that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common man. The personality of Godhead, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation, cannot be a human being. Yet there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be merely a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the original Supreme Personality, as is confirmed in the Brahma Asmita, Iswara Paramah Krishna. He is the Supreme Lord. There are many Iswaras, controllers, and one appears greater than another. In the ordinary management of affairs in the material world, we find some official or director, and above him there is a secretary, and above him a minister, and above him a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by another. In Brahma Asmita, it is said that Krishna is the supreme controller. There are many controllers, undoubtedly, both in the material and spiritual world. But Krishna is the supreme controller, Iswara Paramah Krishna, and his body is Satchit Ananda, non-material. Material bodies cannot perform the wonderful acts described in the previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Although he is not a common man, the foolish deride him and consider him to be a man. This body is called here Manus because he is acting just like a man, a friend of Arjuna's, a politician involved in the battle of Kurukshetra. In so many ways, he is acting just like an ordinary man, but actually his body is Satchit Ananda Vigrah, eternal bliss and knowledge absolute. This is confirmed in the Vedic language also. Satchit Ananda Rupya Krishna, I offer my obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is the eternal blissful form of knowledge. Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.1. There are other descriptions in the Vedic language also. Tam ekam Govindam. You are Govinda, the pleasure of the senses of the powers. Satchita Ananda Vigraham. And your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss and eternity. Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.35. Despite the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, its full bliss and knowledge, there are many so-called scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who deride Krishna as ordinary man. The scholar may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but his conception of Sri Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Mudha. Uh, for only foolish persons consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna an ordinary human being because they do not know the confidential activities of the Supreme Lord and his different energies. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, that, that he is a proprietor of everything that be and that he can award liberation to anyone. Because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications, they deride him. Nor do they know that the appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world is a manifestation of his internal energy. He is the master of the material energy, as has been explained in several places. Mama Maya Duratya. He claims that the material energy, although very powerful, is under his control, and whoever surrenders unto him can get out of the control of his material energy. If a soul surrendered to Krishna can get out of the influence of material energy, then how can the Supreme Lord, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the whole cosmic nature, have a material body like us? So, this conception of Krishna is complete foolishness. Foolish persons, however, cannot conceive that the personality of Godhead Krishna, appearing just like an ordinary man, can be the controller of all the atoms and the gigantic manifestation of the universal form. The biggest and the mm, minutest are beyond their conception. So they cannot imagine that a form like that of a human being can simultaneously control the infinite and the minute. Actually, although he is controlling the infinite and the finite, he is a part of all this manifestation. It is clearly stated concerning his yogam asir brahm, his inconceivable transcendental energy, that he can control the infinite and the finite simultaneously, and that he can remain aloof from them. Although the foolish cannot imagine how Krishna, who appears just like a human being, can control the infinite and the finite, those who are pure devotees accept this, for they know the Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they completely surrender unto him and engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord. There are many controversies between the impersonalists and the personalists about the Lord appearance in the human being. But if we consult Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the authoritative text for understanding of the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not an ordinary man, although he appeared on this earth as an ordinary human. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, when the sage headed by the Sunaka inquired about the activities of Krishna, they said, Kratavan kila karmani saharu ramena kesavha ati martyani
Bhaktyani.
matyani bhagavan gudah kapta manusha. So, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with Balarama, played like a human being, and so masked he performed many superhuman acts. Bhagavad Gita 1.1.20. The Lord's appearance as a man bewilders the foolish. No human being could perform the wonderful acts that Krishna performed while he was present on this earth. When Krishna appeared before his father and the mother, Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared with 4 hands. But after the prayers of the parents, he transformed himself into the ordinary child. As stated in the Bhagavatam 10.3.46, Baghu va prakartah sisu Abhuva prakartah sisu. He became just like an ordinary child, an ordinary human being. Now, here again it is indicated that the Lord's appearance as an ordinary human being is one of the features of his transcendental body. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, also it is stated that Arjuna prayed to see Krishna's form of 4 hands. Taneva Rupena Chatur Bhujena. After revealing this from Krishna, when petitioned by Arjuna, again assumed his original human-like form, Manusham Rupam. These different features of the Supreme Lord are certainly not those of an ordinary human being. Some of those who deride Krishna and who are infected with the Mayavadi philosophy quote the following verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.21 to prove that Krishna is just an ordinary man. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutam vastitah sada. The Supreme is present in every living entity. We should better take note of this particular verse from the Vaishnava Acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Viswant Chakravarti,
Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Viswant
Vishwanath.
Chakravarti, Viswant
Vishwanath.
Viswanatha, the Viswanatha Chakravarti Thakura, instead of following the interceptions of authorized persons who deride Krishna, Jiva Goswami, commenting on this verse, says that Krishna in his plenary expansion as Paramatma is situated in the moving and the non-moving entities as super soul. So any neophyte devotee who simply gives his attention to the Archamurti, the form of Supreme Lord in the temple, and does not respect other living entities, is uselessly worshipping the form of the Lord in the temple. There are three kinds of devotees of the Lord, and the neophyte is in the lowest stage. The neophyte devotees gives more attention to the deity in the temple than in other devotees. So, Viswant Chakravarti Thakura warns that this sort of mentality should be corrected. A devotee should see that because Krishna is present in the everyone's heart as Paramatma, everybody is in the embodiment or the temple of the Supreme Lord. So, as one offers respect to the temple of the Lord, he should similarly properly respect each and every body which the Paramatma dwells. Everyone should therefore be given proper respect and should not be neglected. There are also many impersonalists who deride temple worship. They say that since God is everywhere, why should one restrict himself to the temple worship? But if God is everywhere, he is not in the temple or in the deity. Although the personalists and the impersonalists will fight with one another perpetually, the perfect devotee in Krishna consciousness knows that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality, he is all pervading as confirmed in the Brahma Smita. Although his personal abode is Goloka, Vrindavana, and he is always staying there by his different manifestations of energy and by his plenary expansion. He is present everywhere in all parts of the material and spiritual creation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very